This is Dennis Nayer, the Director of Research, Development, and Training for the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police. Right now, I have the privilege of being here with Executive Deputy Commissioner Michael Green from DCJS and Cassandra Kelleher Donnarumma from Office of Children and Family Services. We wanted to do a short audio podcast about the new Raise the Age legislation. So thank you both for being here. And my question is, recent legislation which was titled Raise the Age is large and cumbersome. How would you pare it down to a basic synopsis so that police chiefs can understand it properly? And what are the main takeaway points?
So I guess I'll start and say from my perspective, several things I think police chiefs ought to know. First, the law takes effect October 1st of 2018 for 16-year-olds, October 1st, 2019 for 17-year-olds. Once this law is fully in effect, 16 and 17-year-olds who under current law, when they get arrested, go to adult court, will now have their cases handled differently. So if you're 16 or 17 years old, once this law takes effect and you are arrested for a misdemeanor, you'll be charged as a juvenile delinquent and your case will go to family court. If you're 16 or 17 and you're arrested and charged with a felony, your case will go to a special part of the adult criminal court known as the youth part. The youth part will apply the criminal procedure law or adult procedure, but will be staffed by specially trained family court judges. Within that youth part, I think it's important for chiefs to know that the most serious cases, so violent felony cases that involve either the use of a weapon or the display of a weapon, that involve sex crimes like rape or criminal sex act, or that involve the infliction of the infliction of significant injury on someone other than a participant in the crime, will stay in that youth part of adult court unless the district attorney moves to send them to family court. So the DA will have control. And if the person is convicted, current sentencing laws will apply. So for those most serious cases, which I know are of concern for police chiefs, the robbery in the first degree with a gun, the rape in the first degree, the murder, those cases will stay in the adult court system in youth part. And if someone is convicted, they'll be subject to the same penalties they currently are. So, once this takes effect, if a 16 or 17-year-old is convicted of robbery in the first degree, they'll still be facing a maximum sentence of 25 years. If they're convicted of murder, they'll still be facing a maximum sentence of 25 years to life. The difference will be on the lower level crimes. On the nonviolent felonies, there'll be a procedure where those cases can be removed to family court unless the DA objects and is able to show extraordinary circumstances. And the misdemeanors will all be in family court. And from my perspective, the advantage that this will provide is that family court structure will have a process where those youth can be screened. Someone can look at them and say, why are they in the system? And if it's someone who has huge red flags indicating there are problems that are likely to lead to future arrests and future incarcerations, they can be connected with services and put into a structure that attempts to address those before things blow up and they commit the armed robbery or the shooting or the rape and it's too late.
Thank you. And Cassandra, can you add any perspective to that as well?
Sure. So if it's helpful, from some of the things that I've encountered in my work at OCFS, is I think there's some misconceptions about the law that might be helpful to dispel. So I've often heard, people are assuming that the new law will mean that any youth who is arrested is just going to be treated how we presently handle youth and family court, and that they may end up, in for example, a foster care agency or in an OCFS facility that may be non-secure, even if that youth committed a very serious crime. And I think, as Mike was highlighting, is that's not really how the law is structured. The law is really structured in a way that I think is actually quite balanced. It was a really contentious piece of legislation that was discussed, and in the end, I think it ended up being a very balanced approach, but that only youth who end up in family court because their cases started there because they were a misdemeanor or lower, or their case ends up there because it got removed through the process from the youth part are only those cases that can end up in those kind of placements. And also for the youth who end up in going through, who have the more serious charges in the youth part, there are new facilities that will be created that will have enhanced security that are not exactly what is in existence in our juvenile system right now. But the big takeaway is, even for those youth and for the youth who end up in the family court system, is that there will be more services available, more possibilities for intervention that may, help set that youth on a better course and therefore create better outcomes.
The other thing I should mention for police chiefs, currently, if you arrest and want to interview someone who's 15 or younger, there's special rooms that they have to be interviewed in, parents have to be notified. Those same requirements will now apply to 16 and 17-year-olds. So I think it's important that chiefs are aware of that. DCJS will be putting out guidance, working with the Municipal Police Training Council, and we'll be putting out training as well on that topic.
Super informative. I think the chiefs and all the listeners will get a lot out of this information. And is there anywhere you can direct them if they want to review this in greater detail? Would they be able to find any of it at DCJS?
I believe there's a website. If it's not up right now, it will be up. It's a state website dedicated to raise the age. And if they can't find it, they can certainly reach out to either one of us and we can provide them with that website.
And on the PowerPoint that we use for today's presentation, there's a link to the website on the very last slide. So that, yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. Again, this is a new legislation that I think you were able to pare down to an understandable format. So again, thank you both.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.